Hey guys and gals, welcome back to another VinnyVid Productions video featuring my BNSF Peavine sub. I have accomplished a lot of stuff on this layout in the last couple of weeks in preparation for the special guest I'm going to have here in a few days. I have gone over some of the scenery, some of the bridge work that you see behind me, and some other stuff that's been accomplished. Anyhow, if you guys enjoy my video and like the contents that I have produced, I would appreciate your help in supporting my channel. I have provided a link down below, PayPal me account, and it would be appreciated if you donate. Every little bit helps. I also would like to thank people that have already contributed. Thumbs up to you guys. Too many guys to mention names, but you all know who you are. So anyhow, without further ado, let's go ahead and get on with the rest of the video. Be back in a few minutes. Alright guys, in my last video I was telling you that I'm going to put some sort of a corner molding up on the top here so I could run some LEDs up on the top so it'll cast down light behind the front track over the rear track. Anyhow, I decided that I didn't want to spend any extra money, and I'm going to use supplies that I've had in my garage for quite a while now. So let me take you out to the work area and show you what I'm going to be doing to accomplish this task. Alright guys, so what I decided to do, now I'm out in my work area, which is actually my dining area. I got a piece of 1x2 and I'm going to laminate this hardboard to the top of it to create an L-shaped type deal. And then I will laminate the LEDs here, and I will hang this over the backdrop and secure it, and that should work. So anyhow, let me get going on this, and I'll bring you back when I get that done. Alright guys, as you see, I just put this together, and what I'm going to do is, if this works the way I intend it to work, I'm going to put the LEDs towards the outer edge right here, and hopefully we'll be good. So let me go into the other room with this. Oops, sorry about that. Let me go into the other room like this and see if it's actually going to work, and I'll bring you back then. Alright guys, so it looks like so far it's going to work out pretty good. As you can see, it's along the top edge of the backboard there. I just wish I had a little bit wider piece of hardboard, but anyhow, I'll try and figure out a way to shield the light from the eyes. But in the meanwhile, what I'm going to do is take this back out right now, and I will install the LEDs and wire it up, and let's see what it's going to look like. So we'll be back in a few minutes. Alright guys, now that I know that this little contraption I'm making is going to work, next thing to do is install the LEDs. So, what I did was, I already connected my wires because if I don't do it here, I won't be able to get to it when it's up on the layout. Also, one thing to remember, if you're using this style of LED, and you want to cut it, you need to cut it between those tabs right there. If you cut it on this side, it won't work, and if you cut it on this side, it won't work. So that's a little fuel for fire. And also I found out that these cheapo Chinese LEDs, the adhesive that they use on the back is really not that strong. I've had to use masking tape to hold some of it up, but it works. Anyhow, let's go ahead and install this, and then we'll put it back on the layout and see what we got going on. Be back in a minute. Alright guys, the LED strip is in there, and as you can see, every few inches I got a piece of masking tape to hold it up there. Like I mentioned, that the adhesive they use on these isn't as good as you would think it would be. Anyhow, next step is to put this on the layout and permanently secure it to the fascia, the backboard. So give me a minute and we'll go back in the other room, and we'll be back in a couple minutes. Alright guys, my problem of the dark spot is fixed now. As you can see, I've got the LEDs running down pretty much the whole length of that board back there, and it goes all the way down to the end. And most likely what I'm going to do is right over here, I will probably do the same thing. But the only lights that are on right now are those LEDs. But if I turn the other light on, there you go. Full brightness in this room. I like it. I may put a small little balance in front of those LEDs so they're not in your face. But we'll see how that goes eventually. But right now, I am continuing on this major change video, and so we'll see what the next part is going to be. We'll be back in a few minutes. Isn't that pretty how it lights it all up? Alright guys, we continue on with the update on this video. As you can see, I've added some ground cover. This is the Drake area. Like I told you guys previously, that's got to be pretty much flat. So what I am attempting to do is my first attempt on cutting rocks. I don't know how good that looks, but practice makes perfect, I guess. And again, we come around this side, and you can see that all the scenery and ground cover and some bushes are there, and I still need to paint my road. And we'll carry around the other side, and I decided to add some rock molds here. Now, according to the pictures I see, there are no really rock molds in this area, but I decided to do it because this is way too big just not to have anything on it. Also, I kind of screwed up there. I tried to put a rock mold in there. It didn't work out very well, so I need to retouch that up and maybe even add a couple of rock molds in there. Anyhow, I did paint my purple mountains back there, and I'm going to get up on top of the layout and show you what else I'm going to be doing back there. But anyhow, I carried on just a little further right there, and also I carried on a little further right there and up there. Anyhow, let me get up on top of the table and I'll show you what's going on behind this mountain right here. So let me get up on top of the table and I'll show you what's going on. Alright, as you guys can see, there's very little room back here. So what I'm going to do is I am going to put a cardboard insert in there. It's going to be double thick. As you can see, here's the other one right here. And then I will put some plastic cloth on there and paint it up just like the rest of the layout, and we'll see where we go from there. Anyhow, let me get on with that part, and we'll see what happens, and we'll be back in a few minutes. Alright guys, we're out in my work area now, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to laminate two of these pieces together just to give it a little bit of depth when I put it on the layout. I know I have at least this much room back there for trains and locomotives to pass through. And I am going to use this here wood glue. I prefer this because it's a little bit stronger than the white glue. Anyhow, I'm just going to go ahead and put this stuff on here, and we'll get going on this. Get some on the cardboard there, Vincent. Alright guys, we're going to give this a few minutes to dry up. And once it dries up, I'm going to go ahead and laminate that with some plastic cloth, and then I'll hit it with some ground cover, and we'll see how that turns out. So stay tuned and we'll be back in a few minutes. Alright guys, I gave this about 15 minutes to cure up, and what you have now is a bunch of pre-cut plastic cloth, and I'm going to go ahead and start putting the plastic cloth on here. So let's begin. Alright guys, my plaster is nice and dry now, so we're going to go ahead and give it a coat of paint, and as we put the paint on there, we're also going to be adding my ground cover. You guys know that this trick has been done quite a while ago, been used by lots of modelers, so it'll save a step from using glue. Alright, now that all the ground cover is on there, we'll just turn it upside down and shake off all the excess, and if it needs more, we'll do more. You see a couple of bare spots right there? We'll get those later on after this all dries up. Anyhow, let's see what other trouble we can get into. Be back soon. Alright guys, if you notice, something is missing out of my layout, and that's the bridge. I decided to start doing some work on the bridge to get it done, so I can get this entire system up here pretty much in a completed state. Anyhow, I'm going to take you out to the work area and I'm going to show you what I've been doing. So we'll be right back. Alright guys, we're at my work area, and the first thing I did was give it a sand down so the glue would adhere a little bit better. And as you can see, I gave it all my little tick marks. These are at 10-foot intervals, and the top to the bottom is 6 feet. I got my chopper set up at 6 feet, and we're going to start chopping these all up. There are, I think, 50 or 55 of these little guys that I need to cut up. Anyhow, I'm not going to bore you with cutting them all up. I will do that off camera, and I'll bring you back when that's done. I forgot to mention, the ribbing will be made out of balsa wood. This is 1/16 by 1/16 balsa wood. It's the smallest I can get at my local hobby shop, and it measures out to be approximately 7 inches wide. I think once it's on the layout, it's not going to really be too bad as a visual. Anyhow, let me get going on cutting these, and I'll bring you back when it's done. Alright guys, this is a pile of my ribs I'm going to be putting on here, and of course the center ones are a little bit larger, so I cut those also. I'm only going to do one side of this bridge because you'll never ever get to see the back side of this bridge. So the next part is the tedious part of putting all of these guys onto here. Again, I'm not going to bore you with that, so I will just go ahead and do it, and I'll bring you back when that's done. Alright guys, I now have all my ribs on there, and the next step for me to do is to put a top and bottom plate on there, and I will be using this piece right here, and we'll put it right on here like so. And once that's on, we'll let it all dry up, and I'll paint it, and we'll see what it looks like. So I'm going to let this dry up for a few minutes, and then we'll get going on the rest of it. Be back in a minute. Alright guys, as you can see, I've got all the ribs in there, and I got the upper and lower plates in. So now I guess the next thing for me to do is to go ahead and paint this and see what it looks like on the layout. So I'm going to head out to my garage and get this a flat black paint job, and we'll see how it goes from there. So we'll be back in a few minutes. Alright guys, what you're looking at now is some of the scenery I've done on the Hell Canyon area. I thought I'd take advantage of putting this stuff in there while the bridge was out. As you can see, every one of those bushes on the mountain side have been hand put. Each one of them I put in by hand. I'm sure there's some sort of cactus. I'm not sure exactly what they are, but that's what it looks like right now. Still have a lot more to do, and as you can see, I also lightened up the background mountains. I think it's still a little bit too dark. I might have to go over it one more time with a lighter color. Anyhow, if you stay tuned, I will put the bridge in and show you what that's going to look like when the bridge is in there. So stay tuned, and we'll be right back. Alright guys and gals, this is the almost completed scene of my Hell Canyon part of the layout. As you can see, I've got the bridge in there, and I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see the ribbing that I did on there. Oh yeah, you can. Alright. So anyhow, the reason why it's not complete yet is I want to see if I can get some cactus to put in the background and foreground. Today is Wednesday, the 23rd of August. And I am trying to get as much done of this layout as I possibly can before my guests arrive on Saturday the 25th. Tomorrow, the 24th of August, Ryan's going to come here, and we're going to try and get some more track done up here on the last section of the layout up to Ash Fork. And excuse me. And so that should be pretty fun. We are going to be heading up to the Grand Canyon, doing the train ride up there, and that should be a lot of fun. Anyhow, I hope you guys and gals enjoyed this Major Changes number 29, and as always, your questions, comments, input, subs, shares, and likes are always welcome. For now, that's all folks. BNSF 6951 out.